Okay, so last time I returned to reviewing the Avengers, Marvel Avengers Square Enix game, I was reviewing the first piece of free DLC, which was Taking Aim. Now you're probably thinking, why would you be reviewing free DLC? It's kind of my way of coming back to this live service game without having to do a review of the first game over and over and over again. So reviewing all of the free DLC, I can kind of do updated reviews and thought process on the game itself. And with this second piece of DLC, we got the Hawkeye expansion, which is a continuation from Taking Aim.
You never ventured beyond the storm. Coward.
Yeah, it's not one of those fun apocalypses.
Now, first things first, last DLC review I did, there was a serious issue, and that was you could not start any of the missions without being online. Now, you could play the missions offline, and you could complete them offline. You could literally start the mission. Alright, the mission will start, pause it, get off the internet, and then play the whole mission, finish it, and then get like any bonuses you got from that level offline. But you want to start the next mission, you have to be online. Okay? Stupidest thing ever. And unfortunately, Square Enix still has not fixed this. Alright? Like, this is not cool. Okay? There's absolutely no reason why this should be online required to start each story mission in this DLC. Okay, it's stupid. Please stop doing it. But you know that's what we have. Now it does continue the story from Taking Aim, which I love. So we're kind of getting the sequel to the first Avengers game, and Taking Aim was kind of the start of that, where we're like seeing this future war and future Imperfect continues that future war, and I really liked the progress of this story. Now, did this DLC kind of drag on a little bit? Absolutely, I'll get into that, but overall I do like the general concept of, yeah, so this could have easily been the plot for a second game, but no, instead they decided to put that through the DLC, and it's pretty awesome that they did that. And speaking of the criticism of it dragging on, yeah, this is a very short piece of DLC. Now, the first one, the story didn't feel like it dragged on. It felt like it was paced very properly. But in this one, like, honestly, this only needed like 2 missions, really. If that. Maybe 3. And like some of these missions, it's like, hey, we're gonna go do this mission to find Nick Fury. Okay? Then they do it, cutscene happens, and it's like, okay, we need to do this next mission to find a device that's going to help us find Nick Fury. And you do that, and it's like, okay, now we're going to go get the device to help us. Like, seriously, they dragged it on for way too long. And so, yeah, this ultimately could have been better handled or written better, but like, I was just a little bit disappointed with how the story just dragged on in a couple of places. Now, this does add a new future area, like this sandbox, where it's like a after the smash, like future post-apocalypse site, and I really like it. It's pretty awesome. And there's a lot of side missions that you can do in this area, so it's not just like story missions can only be done here, and I really like that. Not to mention that this like new area is very visually impressive, especially with some of the skylines. Some of the skylines are really awesome. You get some of that like Doom Eternal vibes going on with that skyline. And then the new character is thankfully different enough from Kate Bishop. So whereas Kate Bishop had like that Deadpool vibe where she could teleport all over the place, she had bow and arrow, a sword, Hawkeye feels a little bit more like a ninja. You know, he still has a sword and bow and arrow, but he can't teleport. He has more, like, he has a healing move he can do on the group that will really help if you have a group that is doing good teamwork. That being said, if I'm being completely honest, this Hawkeye DLC should not have been released back to back with the Kate Bishop DLC, because I mean it's like, hey, we're going to do a Hulk DLC and then an Abomination DLC, and it's like, well, I mean they are kind of, I don't know, really similar, and so maybe we shouldn't have two identical characters back to back. I'm not saying don't have Kate Bishop and Hawkeye, I'm just saying, yeah, they shouldn't have been released back to back, because a lot of people, when they got this, it's like, okay, what's the first character? Kate Bishop. Who's that? Alright, and then like next it's like, okay, Hawkeye, well, he should have been the main game to start off with, but it's like, why are we getting nothing but archers? Like, seriously, can't we get a little bit more variety? You know? And so, now, one pro about this DLC is Kate Bishop has been mellowed out quite a bit. She's not like an insufferable asshole the entire time. She actually does, you know, line up on the "I'm better than everyone else" jokes as she's standing next to Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. You know, it's just like, good gosh. So she has been mellowed out. Her writing's a little bit better this time around. You gotta get a little bit of that, you know, mentor or father figure between her and Hawkeye, and so I did like that. And, like, she actually really cared about Hawkeye. She got upset that he didn't tell her like a huge life-changing decision he had decided on months prior. It's like, why wouldn't you tell me about that? It's like, you know, that was good for that character. So I do like Kate Bishop better in this DLC than in the first one. And then of course we have a new boss, which, judging from the photo behind me, you can see is Maestro or Maestro. It's a Hulk enemy. So, you know, we got two Hulk bosses now, Abomination and Maestro. I don't know how to pronounce it. But, you know, and so, yeah, we got a new boss, thankfully. So the roster has gone up from 1, 2, 3. It's gone up to 4, I think. Probably 5. This needs to improve, Square Enix. And what I mean by improve is the enemies just... We're getting enemy fatigue from these same enemies over and over again. Yes, getting one new boss is great. Now we don't have to play the same 3 boss encounters over and over again. That being said, there's absolutely no foot soldier enemies added in this DLC. So you're literally playing through the same aimbots again, the same enemy soldiers over and over and over again. And like, judging from the source material, you have so many other villains and enemy units you could throw in here against us, but you haven't done it yet. Why not? This is ridiculous. So ultimately, yeah, absolutely get this free update DLC. You get access to Hawkeye, which, you know, he can be fun in his own right, and I am a little disappointed that they haven't added a whole lot to this DLC. I am looking forward to the next one, which is the Black Panther DLC. But to be honest, yeah, this could have been better. But since it's free DLC, adding to the pros that the last DLC already did and the benefits to the updates, I can't really hold too much against this. I'm not going to, you know, rate it as I would have if this was a solo independent game I had paid money for. This is free, remember. So, you know, it's just kind of like my update on the Avengers live service experiment. And so, yeah, that's been my review of Marvel's Avengers Future Imperfect. And so, I am hopeful that this series is going to get better. I'm hopeful that Square Enix will actually listen to the fans and add the things that we've been asking for, because this could be an amazing live service game. But with Marvel's Avengers Future Imperfect, it hasn't quite reached that level yet. If you'd like to see more content from us, just simply check out our channel, YouTube 11th Hour Reviews. My name is Chris Ricardo. Thanks for watching.